What's going on, ladies and gents? So we are back with another comment read-through. This time the comment read-through is for the video that I posted regarding what I predict is going to happen in Chapter 20. Okay, and like always, I ask you guys of your opinions. What do you guys think is going to happen in Chapter 20? And like always, I want you guys to feel and know that your comments are being read and that I appreciate them. So we're gonna go ahead and start to read them for you guys. Okay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. All right. So we are gonna start off with the top and we'll work our way down. All right. So this comment is from XJ. So XJ says, I say Jachi gonna survive by a hair. It could even open the door for weakened Jachi versus Hollow, but that feels a little bit too soon, as for some long-term predictions. So he says, 1. Parasites are gonna infect Madeline's ships since they look organic and meaty, instead of the actual Madeline's bodies that are most likely immune to the parasites. Okay. Madeline's will suffer a loss against most natural enemies, if not all the natural enemies they designated as a non-threat. And them calling a demon a non-threat as Izuki struggles for his life could be a tease for what to come. I agree. I definitely agree with a lot of people who are saying that the Materins are taking a lot of these enemies for not for granted, but you know they're taking them lightly. They're underestimating them. I do think that that is going to hurt them in the future. And so real quickly, in regards to Jachi getting beaten up by Gimbok, you know, just living by a hair. I mean, you never know. That could happen. That could happen. Now, I don't necessarily think that one is trying to already set Jachi versus Hollow, you know, round 2 up, because for one, I don't even think that Hollow is nearly strong enough to even challenge Jachi still. Like, he might have had some success towards Kiva, but I mean, if you pay attention to the power scale that Kiva was on and the power scale that Demon Lord Jachi is on, it's just crazy far apart. You know, so I still don't think that Hollow is even close to that. So I agree. I see that you said it might be a little too soon. I think it's way too soon. Way too soon. However, a lot of people might feel like Gimbok showing up this early is way too soon. So I get that too. And the one about the parasites infecting the ships, I'm not sure about that. We still need to see a whole lot more about the Materins. You know, it definitely seems like there's some type of life force in the light goo that is constantly in them or around them. So I definitely think there's going to be something there that's going to relate to it, but I can't really speak on it yet. All right, so let's go to number 3 in your prediction. It says, Mad God won't be the pinnacle of all natural enemies and will probably fail to neutralize the World Tree or the Great Demon King. Okay. I mean, I don't know if anybody said he was going to be the pinnacle of all natural enemies. I mean, I don't know if you had a conversation with somebody about that recently, but I don't recall anybody saying that they thought that the Mad God was going to be the pinnacle of all the natural enemies, like end up on top of everyone. I know in my top 3 strongest, I mentioned the Mad God amongst the strongest, but he's among the strongest, not the strongest. Okay, so I don't know if there was a mix-up there or something like that, but okay, but you think that the Mad God isn't going to be at the top towards the end. Okay. And then Extermia, the Gamer World arc, will be one of the best considering the plot potential with Extermia, people not being there for most of the majority of the manga. So you think that because Extermia hasn't necessarily been addressed yet, that it's because the author one is actually saving it to be one of the strongest of the enemies? I mean, that's an interesting theory. It's an interesting theory. 5, verses will follow a rock, scissors, paper meta with no enemy solely on the top. However, bosses could be an exception to that, especially the Great Demon King, God, World Tree. These are contenders for that sweet top 1. And personally, I might give it to the Great Demon King by Aku. The OG's demons run this. Okay, I feel so. You think, and I I'm having a hard time remembering exactly who you said was going to be your top 3 strongest. I remember you said the Great Demon King was one of yours. I don't recall if you had mentioned God. I could have swore at one point you had mentioned the Lawless, the Outlaws. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you did mention those 3. Okay. All right, number 6. Gore versus Hollow will happen. I agree with you. I definitely think that somewhere down the line, Hollow's going to want a piece of him for sure. Especially for, them trying to... Hollow doesn't take it lightly when people try to hurt his brother. You know what I'm saying? So, I definitely agree with you. I think that Hollow's going to want a piece of Gore at some point. But, hey, Gore got that katana. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. Number 7, Gore's... I think you meant to say Gore's instead of Gore. Gore's katana isn't his, but rather a hero from Sorcerian and someone Hollow recognizes. Oh, that's an interesting theory. You think that Gore might have taken the katana off of someone that Hollow knows? I don't know though, man, because it seems like everyone that Hollow had originated with, it seemed like they all had the Sword of Courage, which is that, medieval knight-looking sword. Almost kind of looks like a long sword. That's interesting though. That would be, Hollow sees the sword like, hold up, that's my homies, and yeah, for sure. Okay. I like that, XJ. I like those guesses, man, for sure. Thank you for sharing. All right. So we're gonna go on down to Cheeto 2701. All right. Why is it key? Okay, there we go. We'll just do that. I hate how it only highlights like a part of it. All right, we're gonna do that. All right, Cheeto 2701 says, I don't really mind the author focusing on the main characters mainly because this story is not a battle manga, but more like a survival manga with battle elements on it. Okay, so you're saying I don't really mind the author focusing on the main characters mainly. I'm assuming that's the abbreviation MC means main characters, I would assume. You don't mind him focusing on the main characters, mainly. I gotta be honest with you, Cheeto. I don't think I'm understanding your comment in its entirety. Because, I think the story is focusing on a lot of different elements and a lot of different characters, both main characters, side characters, because it focused on Ario for a good minute, for chapter 8, chapter 9, chapter 9.2. And, that's 3 chapters of it really focusing on Ario. But he's, in my opinion, I don't think that Ario is a main character. I think main character would be like Hollow, Zavi, maybe a few other people, Paka, maybe. I don't know, but I just don't quite understand that. Now, for, in regards to you saying that you feel like this isn't a battle manga, but it's more sort of a survival manga, I think it's both, right? I don't think it's one more than the other, I think everyone is trying to survive, but in order to survive, everyone has to battle at some point, Even the humans, they got to battle other humans, they got to battle one of the other enemies, whether it's a parasite, the curse, a demon, whatever, another human. So I think it's equally both. So I gotta be honest with you, I don't understand your comment. Like, I don't really understand the differences that you're trying to convey, if that makes sense. Okay. I don't know, maybe the next time you leave a comment in regards to this, maybe just try to elaborate a little bit more, just kind of further explain exactly what it is you mean, because I think what it is you know what you want to say, but I'm not seeing your vision, you know, so, and because you were so vague in your statement, I'm not quite understanding what you mean by it. So I do apologize for that, but yeah, I don't quite understand it, okay? But like always, thank you for leaving a comment, okay? All right, so we're gonna head down to Bradley LIV, or Brady LIV, I'm sorry. All right. Too high, okay. So Brady LIV says, I don't think neither of those characters die. If so, it will be Jachi, but I think these two are too important to the story. I think something interferes and infringes the fight. My biggest question is, where does these giants' power stem from? Cause are they... Oh, wait, hold on. Let me reread that. My biggest question is, where does these giants' power stem from? Cause are they technically just mega-sized humans? I don't see how they would compete with demons and terrestrial beings. Okay. So you're saying that you don't think that neither Jachi nor Genbok is going to win a fight against each other. You think that something or someone is going to interfere, thus not allowing them to finish their fight. And then you're saying that you're a little confused about the power scale of the giants or the titans, because in your opinion, the titans just seem like mega-sized humans. So in a way, they should be not too much stronger than humans, I would imagine. Okay. I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you in regards to Jachi and Genbok. That was one of my theories. I kind of feel like something might interfere with their fight. And I would be okay with that. Now, in regards to the Titans, I mean, I would imagine if their bodies are, you know, I don't know, 20 times the size, maybe even more, of a regular human, I would imagine along with their tremendous size difference would come a power strength difference. You know, that's just what I would think. I never really thought too much into it. You know, I just kind of felt like it makes sense. The more significantly larger you are, the more power you can generate, is what I assume. So, but honestly, you got me thinking now, like, yeah, just because they're larger, why would that necessarily make them stronger? Okay, man, you got me thinking now. All right, Brady, thank you so much for leaving that comment, man. All right, so we got Random Dude, everybody knows, also known as Mike. All right. So Mike says, if you remember, Hollow has the whistle that Kiva had. Yeah, you're right. He does have that. He might blow it while in trouble in last-ditch effort. And Jachi might use magic to teleport straight to him, skipping the fight. It's actually really funny you say that. The last couple of days, my head has wandered to that same place. I love this manga so much, I wouldn't care, to be honest. It'll probably pay off if they don't fight now, so I'm chilling. Right, that's how I feel, Mike. I'm just kind of like, they're probably not going to fight, or maybe we're not going to see them fight. But to be honest with you, one has successfully set up a mission for Hollow and Paka and Bass that I'm interested in, because I'm really interested to see this Gigatila character. Again, he gives me Blast vibes, so I really am anxious to see his design. I'm anxious to see how strong he is. Is he currently stronger than Hollow? You know, because Paka kind of alluded to that. So I'm very interested in him, but then also he still has the setup with the heroes in the outlaw world. and I would be very excited to see more people from the outlaw world. Maybe see a little bit more of what they're capable of, see their boss. You know, there's just so many things that I'm still anxious to see. So if we don't get the Genbok versus Jachi, I'm okay with that as well, for sure. Let's see here. Yeah, and I mean, you're right. I definitely feel like when they showed Hollow taking that whistleblower that Kiva had, I definitely feel like they were foreshadowing that Hollow is going to use that in the future. And like you said, maybe Jachi will respond to it, or some other demons will respond to it, you know? So I am very anxious to see exactly where that's going to go. But I kind of feel like it might not really have a role in the story until later. If it has a role in the near future, that would be surprising. So, okay. I agree with you. I love this manga as well. Awesome, man. Yeah. So, yeah, it seems like we're both on the same page as far as like, hey, whatever happens. I'm just ready to see something in regards to this manga, for sure. Dang, it's crazy, guys. Like, it's been we've been going through this manga since day one, since chapter 1, and it's like we're about to have chapter 20 in a couple of days. Like, man, it's crazy because it's like, no, he's given us a little bit more than 20 chapters, because a lot of these chapters have, or excuse me, a handful of these chapters have 2 parts to them. So we definitely have a little bit over 20 chapters by now. But man, it's like, it's moving along, you know, with us only getting 1 chapter a month. But I really hope that this next chapter we get is much longer than the one that he gave us last month. 19 pages, bro. That was a little disappointing. It really was. I hope we get at least 33 pages or more on this next one that's coming up. All right, so let's go to the next person. Old Man 222. All right. I don't think I've if I'm not mistaken, I don't think I've seen this name before. So Old Man 222, I'm assuming you might be new to the channel. If you are, welcome. Thank you for taking the time to comment. So Old Man 222 says, well, if it did continue, it would be chapter 19 part 3, and volume 4 would end with chapter 20, because otherwise the volume would be too long. So that makes me think we'll get chapter 20 next, which will be on something other than Jachi. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really know exactly what you're referring to in regards to the chapter and the volume and what place it would fall in and stuff, but I do understand that you're saying that you feel like in the next chapter we're going to get something other than Jachi versus Genbok, which I agree with you. I definitely think that it's a strong possibility we're not going to get that. If we do, great. I mean, that would be amazing, as long as the fight is cool as hell, right? But yeah, I agree with you. All right, well, thank you, Old Man 222, for leaving a comment. Appreciate you. I look forward to seeing more. All right. Okay, so we have Nolan Gutierrez 9572. All right, so Nolan says, seeing Jachi get liquidated sounds really funny. It's just this thing, man. It's like when you see one of these enemies just like flexing on the other enemies, and you know they're toying with them, when you finally see them have a challenge, it is somewhat satisfying. You know, it is somewhat like, hey man, there's always somebody bigger and better, you know, down the road. So, you know, stay humble, right? So yeah, I mean, I don't want to see Jachi get fucked up this early on in the manga. Again, I don't mind seeing him struggle. I don't mind seeing him struggle a little bit, just to be like, oh shit, I thought I was, you know, but this enemy is really strong. But I don't know if I'm ready to see him get liquidated yet. That sounds like it's just done. We done already lost Kiva, you know what I'm saying? And fucking Shinzo and the other ones and stuff. I'm not trying to lose Jachi just yet. But okay, appreciate the comment, Nolan. All right, let's go on down to the next one. All right, so for this one, we got Golden War F1. Golden says, I'm taking the risk of increasing my expectations for a possible fight. So it sounds like Golden is like, no, I want to see Gimbok versus Jachi. I feel you, bro. I mean, them leaving us on that cliffhanger with that amazing image of them two standing off against each other. They both look very powerful. Jachi has like the black electricity, around him. It looks really, really enticing. Like, oh man, I can't even imagine what a fight between these two would look like. That's why I'm like, there's no way we're getting this because it's too good to be true. You know what I mean? I feel you though, Golden. I feel you. All right, thank you for leaving a comment, bro. All right, and last but not least, we have I always have a difficulties pronouncing this name. The Bit Ala Sharani 4114. Okay, so I'm just gonna say 4114 or Sharani. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm gonna say 4114. I think Gimbok will throw Jachi to Hollow and Baka and form an alliance with them. You think that he's gonna literally throw Jachi back to where Hollow and Paka are and they're gonna form an alliance together? That's wishful thinking, man, for sure. That's wishful thinking. For fucking Jachi to get hit so hard, he fucking lands all the way back at the mountain, and then he wakes up and he's like, hey, Hollow, man, let's be friends. Let's be friends, bro. Let's go at this together. That's definitely funny, for sure. Hey, man, honestly, it could happen. I really don't know what to expect. This story is just, there's so much going on. It's hard to predict, you know, so I think that any of us could be right, you know. All right, well, that's it, guys. That's the comments for the chapter 20 prediction video. I hope you guys enjoyed these comment read-throughs. I hope you guys feel engaged. I hope you guys feel appreciated, because that is the point of me doing these. This is for you guys. You know, and it always provides a little bit more versus content before we get the next chapter, which we definitely need, seeing how we only get one chapter a month. But yeah, man, that's all I got for you guys in this video. If you like this content, hit like. If you want to be a part of our conversations in these comment read-throughs, subscribe, and make sure you leave a comment in the other videos. Otherwise, I will see you guys later. Bye.